I mean, one of the things that, as you've said, is that whenever there's economic difficulties, there is a spike in male suicides, and often that comes about a year or two after. And we're already worried about that issue with regard to COVID and lockdown. So obviously, the continuing difficulties that we have in that respect, in terms of cost of living, we're really worried about the impact on that. Men, like women, in their jobs will be under more pressure to earn more money, because obviously the cost of it costs more to live, pay the bills, will have to work longer. And also, I've spoke to some colleagues this morning and said that they're starting to see more men using food banks, for example. So when we're looking at the cost of living crisis, it's really important to think about the impact, obviously, on women, but also with men too, especially because we all share society and relationships and families together. So we shouldn't look at this in a very black and white scenario, which is often the case, that this is only an issue that affects women when it affects all of us.
Yeah, I mean, people often say that, the working classes are the proudest, and that perhaps with more traditional values, the men in families that are now going to struggle to make ends meet have a huge burden on their shoulders. What sort of advice might you give people out there today who are thinking, I'm really struggling, I don't know how to keep my family held together financially during this difficult period? And how would you encourage men to deal with those issues?
Well, I think the key thing is to make sure that any of the issues that's on their shoulders, to share that burden, obviously with their family, with their partners. They should be able to share that burden with them, because one of the issues for men in that scenario is they think they have to shoulder the whole burden. Also, talk to friends and family, not just obviously if there's any financial support, but just to let them know that they actually are struggling and need to basically have those people on their side and keep their spirits up, and always give people like that, in that situation, some form of hope and positivity to keep them going. We are all in this together. It is a difficult situation, and we don't want any man or any woman thinking all of that responsibility is just theirs and theirs alone.